So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than a pick a card or a collective reading. As you can see, I've got two sides here on my board. And what we're going to do is we're going to get messages from the divine realm and from the worldly realm for you. So since we do kind of lead this dual existence, in terms of being human, there's an interesting connection that humans uniquely have to the divine realm versus some other creatures, and the manner in which we're able to express that and understand ourselves and other people, building empathy. This is going to be a very heavy reading. I'm not doing any piles or anything like that. We're just going to see what the world needs to hear, or what you who are tuning into this reading specifically need to hear. So as I continue to shuffle, make sure you're tuning in with your guides. The best way to do this for anyone who isn't as experienced at really deep meditation or their clairaudient or clairvoyant abilities, psychic stuff. Basically, the best way to do it, I'm going to put the cards down so we're silent, not making noise. Okay. So the best way to do this is to just, for a moment, as you're sitting still, just begin to breathe and focus. Breathe in through your nose and focus on how the air flows into your nose. Imagine, not imagine, but try to feel the flow of air as it enters your body and then as it exits your body. Just attach yourself to the sensation of that exact moment as you're breathing. And just this additional conscious silence will allow your subconscious, see, your subconscious is already coming through. That's funny because it's Four of Cups. So what I'm getting from you guys, honestly, is maybe you've been a little reluctant to really do this work. We're buckling down, or at least I'm buckling down for you. So this is as much for me as it is for you. It's for everybody. Ten of Cups. It's for everybody and the world. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna get some big messages today. I already know for a fact for our collective energy, we're going through, this time in general, everyone's feeling kind of a tower energy, maybe an instability, or a lot of change going through. But really, I'm feeling like we're at the end, guys, not to be light at the end of the tunnel, but the message I've been getting from Spirit lately is that, not enlightenment, but inner peace, because some people, if you care about enlightenment itself, let me put it this way, if you care about becoming enlightened, you're attached to the state of enlightenment, and therefore you can't achieve it because your mind is attached to the fact that you are not currently this thing. But the moment that you become unattached from being enlightened and just go, well, I just want to find peace within myself, then, ironically, you're more enlightened than you were when you were seeking it actively. So sometimes, so this passivity that I'm getting from the Four of Cups, well, I should just start the freaking reading, but let me go on the Four of Cups for a moment. Basically, with the Four of Cups, what I'm getting is that Spirit is really putting this cup out there for anyone tuning into this reading. Okay, so this is your cup, and if you want to take it, take it. I'm going to give you a minute now to just silently, not a whole minute, oh my goodness, to silently reflect, or just pause the video here, reflect on what you really need to know. At least open yourself up. This is probably the first and most important step. All the preparation you have to do is open yourself up to, open your mind to the fact that some preconceived notions you have about life may be incorrect. Some preconceived notions you have about yourself may be incorrect. Some things you're doing may not be right. It's all a manner of staying flexible in our self-perception, our perception of others, and in this flexibility, we allow the world to change in positive and beautiful ways. Because if you're putting out positive and beautiful intentions, and the world is flexible enough to accept those intentions, then, then it's going to bloom outward into something incredible and beautiful. But if you aren't putting out those intentions, honestly, that's okay, because that's light work. As in like light workers or people who are doing chanting like for the world and everything, the energy is already there. Big time what I'm getting with Four of Cups is like the energy is already there, and like you guys can just take it anytime. Or if you're not feeling like Spirit is giving you enough, then like what Spirit is trying to say is we're giving you enough, you're just not taking it. Like, so take it, take what's yours, okay? Take what's yours and release what isn't. That just popped into my head. Okay, so we're gonna start with some goddesses so I get an idea of what type of world we're living in, now that I've given a good little TED Talk prelude. Well, we've got Taiki to begin. That's always, oh my goodness. Taiki, Lakshmi, Hekate. Hina, Rhiannon, and Eos. My goodness. And we're gonna get 4 more? My goodness. Okay, the decks are being very vocal. So we have Agarthis with balance, Athena with wisdom, Saraswati, enlightenment, and Tara with protection. This is a beautiful card. Let me get some more information on Tara. I actually get the feeling that Tara is going to go over here. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, Goddess of compassion and protection, Tara is watching over you and protecting you. Strongest of the goddess's forms, green Tara protects you from negative energy. Feel her presence in your intuition. Your intuition, okay, so maybe a lot of you aren't tapping into your intuition. That's that Four of Cups, okay? Your intuition is how Spirit speaks to you. So habits, desires, wants, needs, even the perception of those is ego, is identity. So Saraswati in enlightenment would encourage you, and Athena as well, as saying it's wise to not just balance these. Really, the message I'm getting is balance is achieved between these two realms when, like, if one is below and one is above, then the one below surrenders to the one above. Now, and if that surrender isn't complete and genuine, then things can be very difficult. So enlightenment comes in showing you that life is not just being in a human body. Life is this experience in growing and changing. I was thinking about this the other day. It's always been about the journey, okay? And a lot of people take just a worldly journey, and that's not fully spiritually satisfying. It can be psychologically satisfying to ego, wants, needs, and desires that are built up. But that's all about a worldly identity, okay? So Saraswati is encouraging you to release parts of your worldly identity that are holding you back. Tara is protecting and uplifting all of us. And green also being for the heart chakra, I'm getting. Love is the highest frequency that like you can tune yourself into, is just unconditional love. And acceptance of others. Part of this might be about self-acceptance. I get the feeling you're very comfortable with yourself, actually, but it's accepting other people in the same way that you accept yourself. Remember, though, like, you used to struggle with accepting yourself, though you would accept other people unconditionally. So now we've had this polarity reversal, but you already learned that other lesson. So it's time to just apply what you already learned just once again, because we've had this flip. The tower energy has almost completely subsided. The moon, okay. The 10 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, King of Cups, 8 of Cups, and 7 of Cups, and Death. Wow, I'm sorry, Tara. Okay, there we go. One more card? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh my goodness, 5. Okay, I'll just look at these right here. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. So this is for my more esoteric people, these 5 cards, or people who have been doing their like internal studies. This is not just shadow work. This is also like tapping into goddesses yourself. Even maybe you read tarot, maybe you're very deep into your own spiritual path, but you have kind of kept it to yourself. You've been very patient with your work. You've done it by yourself. So you're getting a gift from the universe. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's incredible. So here's the message I have for you guys. So this is the collective energy. We only have one character. Well, we have 2 character cards over here, but we've really only got one character that I'm really identifying with as who we are. We are the King of Cups, okay? King of Cups, highly in touch with their own emotional state and everything. This is like, you used to be like super empath, like, oh, I only understand other people, and now because of isolation, because of time spent alone, because you've been tapping into your hermit energy, okay, and honestly, I'm getting a little bit more of Hierophant than Hermit for some of you, but that's like, Hierophant is like, you're listening. So this reading, though, is for the people who the 2 realms are a little more separate. So if you're already listening, like Spirit says, thank you so much. Tara is saying you're going to be blessed. The Wheel of Fortune is not so much about the Page of Swords for you, Wheel of Swords. It's about justice and remembering that this is what's coming, especially with the 7 of Pentacles. For the Hermit, your work is nearly done, okay? Balance is imminent. And Agarthis, even here. I mean, how perfect is that? We've got justice, we've got balance. Or Atargus? Atargatis? I like suck at English and literacy. So, my bad, everybody. Okay. The irony of not being able to balance these cards is not lost on me at all. I just want everyone to know that. Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, so some things are gonna have to change. There's just some little tweaks like that have to happen. I totally set that up and thought it would be like perfect, and then literally it's just this one little change though the Spirit is telling me. That's okay. Let me get into the tarot. So yes, those of you who have been doing your work, Spirit says thank you so much. You're going to reap what you've sown. Okay, 7 of Pentacles is very much about like you've had these seeds that you've planted. Maybe there's been some manifestation, especially with the Hermit, and those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm pointing to. So I don't need to tell you anymore, and I'm gonna keep it a little secret. So that's just between you and me. So the Wheel of Fortune with the Page of Swords, though, for everybody else, what I'm getting with that is there's still like, either you view yourself as very amateur in your mental abilities, or you are, and you need to like work on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's time to recognize that. The Spirit is saying it's time to at least recognize that. I think the moon is here for those of you who are a little iffy on spirituality. This is telling you to embrace the mystery, allow your doubt to shed. You can live in fear and doubt, or you can live in faith and enlightenment, and it's a choice. Eos is here showing you that choice. Hina is encouraging you to be courageous, encouraging you, literally encouraging you. So these are more like showing you what's kind of going on in a lower sense. Is Eos is showing you your way. Hina is here to help you, encourage you. Rhiannon with enchantment is, I think you're going to be drawn to some things you aren't normally drawn to. And that's your intuition speaking to you. So when you feel that feeling of, I'm really interested in this, or this is going oddly well, when unexpected circumstances or unexpected outcomes occur, I'm getting that especially with the Wheel of Fortune. So we've got 10 Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, but then we have 9 of Wands. So I find it interesting that Wands isn't really showing up. I think what this is about is that 4 of Cups energy I was picking up earlier is about this magic and this this one step, this little bit that's missing, this final piece of the puzzle in terms of magical expression and everything, is actually remembering you, like yourself, remembering your piece in the puzzle. And I'm getting that because also, because especially on 9 of Wands, we've got 8, and then he's holding the 1. So if it weren't for that, then, it would be 8 of Wands. So I'm taking it one step further, and I'm going to say, you can hold 1 wand. You have 2 hands, right? But you hold on to 1 wand, and then give the other wand to spirit, or dedicated to spirit. I'm getting a little altar-y, a little witchcrafty, but honestly, Hecate is here, or Hecate is here. I always say it Hecate, like Tecate light, and it cracks me up. She doesn't think it's funny. But Hecate, I actually happen to have some moon ornaments for Hecate, and magic is very real. Magic is the transformation of worldly circumstances via otherworldly energies and methods and means, okay? So goddesses are beings who are entirely in this otherworldly realm, who have established themselves to assist worldly beings in whom they see this potential for growth, okay? Eos is one of the most important, she belongs over here, okay? Eos is one of the most important ones who's going to help you guys. Eos always serves, is the messenger of the goddesses. Let's get a little bit more. And her big thing is showing you the way, goddess of light. So you may be feeling lost or aimless lately, and winged goddess of light Eos is here to show you the way with her torch. Like Eos ushering in the dawn, a light will appear soon to show you the way out of your situation or clarify how you've been feeling and why. Follow those intuitive pings. You know why I said that emphatically. So, you know that you know, and yet you keep yourself acting on it. You keep yourself. So there's a duality. So there's 2 wolves inside of you, okay? You haven't internally surrendered, or the weaker one has not surrendered to the stronger one. They're still fighting over who's stronger. Ego is weaker, okay? I'm telling you right now, Saraswati is here to tell you, Athena would tell you in her infinite wisdom, okay? Which sounds sarcastic, but it isn't. That the ego is much, much weaker than spirit, because, let me put it this way. Do we have, is there a litany of goddesses and gods and angels and messengers in ego or in spirit? It's only in spirit. And I'm going to get a little more in detail, go a little more in tangent here, that ego is this very animal consciousness, focusing on death, frankly. It's you're so focused on the fact that you might die that you forget to live. We can always die. You could die tomorrow. You could get hit by a bus. You could, like, there are, like, that's a very harsh way of putting it, I know. Your life is never, what am I trying to say? Stability is an illusion, basically, across time and space. And you feel lost because you want to make this very stable path for yourself. You're a very careful and considerate person. You're not sure what you want. Seven of Cups is like, you have dreams, you have big dreams, and you want to make beautiful things, but either you don't know or you don't feel capable. I think you feel capable, especially King of Cups, Seven of Cups. You feel capable of figuring out what it is, but your internal struggle between ego and spirit prevents you from really choosing and taking that cup that you desire. So with the Six of Pentacles, though, I see that you're a very giving person. You're a very generous person. I think it's been really healthy for your karma, and it's done a lot of work for you that you haven't even recognized. And the reason why you've been so kind and charitable to people is because you love other people. Three of Cups, like, you're a very beautiful person in your heart. And that's a very rare thing for someone to just be so beautiful in their heart naturally without, and that's part of why you're being guided to this reading, and part of why these goddesses all are blessing you and guiding you into realms of higher wisdom, understanding, abundance, and prosperity. I mean, you were born to be a co-creator with the gods and the goddesses in your life. And you were born to let these energies flow into the worldly realm through you, acting as, like I do with tarot, like acting as a channel for these divine energies to make their way into a worldly realm where they can be appreciated in a physical material existence. So where I was going to get before with ego versus spirit is like, this is very much physical material existence. I'm going to say material more than I'm going to say physical, because then we've got, okay, like light and sound, or I'm going to get a little ooh-ooh with the frequency, but yes, frequency and sound, and it's about like the 20 to 20,000 hertz versus the 50,000 to 100,000 hertz. You know, at a certain point, a vibration in the air changes from a sound to light. In essence, it changes to a color. So what I'm getting at with this is that these two realms are far more connected and intertwined than your ego would have you believe. Ego benefits from the illusion of separateness because ego then has power. Ego, however, is also insecure because it is aware on some level, because collective consciousness has been through this a lot, okay? I am not the first person to ever spread this message. The ego is keeping you trapped deliberately because that's the only way it has power over you. Some of you, that might even be a reflection of an abusive parent or abusive spouse or partner who really exerted their power over you in this entirely unhealthy way. It's part of why you're such a master of your own emotions, is because this person or this situation really made you question what you knew about yourself. And maybe you didn't know yourself fully before. So Spirit is saying that was a trial. That was a challenge, really. And you passed it, okay? And you passed it, and now you are past it. It's done. Now, oh my goodness. Sorry, my dog just did a little spaz out. They're okay. So, the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups here. You don't want to leave your ego desires behind because you feel there is some benefit Um, I'm getting the feeling you don't feel motivated unless it's by like an ego desire or whatever. Like you, and maybe you've been feeling unmotivated as well. And that's why you're like, I don't want to start again. I don't want to start something new. I think Spirit is saying the reason why this took so long is because you were working as one. You were working under this illusion of separateness. And really, we are all universally connected through a web of consciousness and conscious energy. And this Seven of Cups is going to clarify itself very quickly when you, like, honestly, it could just be like you need a little R&R, you need to meditate some. Just clear your mind and rest. We feel guilty about taking rest in stressful times, but the fact is that we need the rest, especially in these stressful times. And the animal self wants to keep nagging you and tell you, like, there's a lot on your mind, okay? Ten of Swords, there is a lot on your mind. There's also a lot on your subconscious mind, and it's incredibly beautiful. Like, this is just below the surface. This Ten of Cups is just below the surface in this Ten of Swords. So I'm seeing you have one side of you that's entirely light and one side that's entirely shadow, especially because we have 1 and 0, okay, in 10. So that's like unity and non-duality and nothingness. So I think Spirit is also saying this is a choice, that with the Wheel of Fortune represent like being tens and representing this as well. It's like the choice is what you shed, but if you can accept the mysterious guidance of Spirit in terms of your intuition, look, like, I mean, I'll make like the little crystal arrangements and everything, and it's like, I swear, like, they'll just be like magnetically like, okay, I go here. And then like, you'll kind of poke it and like, it won't move. And then other times, like, you'll barely touch it, it'll just go flying and then it'll stick. Life is crazy. I don't know what else to tell you. We live in a magical world, or a world imbued with a lot of magic that gets hidden, gets swept under the rug. And that's because there are systems above the people in place. I mean, you know, governments are basically oppressors or whatever. If everyone was enlightened, then you could actually have no government. Yeah, that's my anarchist self talking, but you know, if everyone is acting in enlightened self-interest, the principle of good of all, harm to none, spiritual law, following their intuition, also, like, karma can be a bitch if you're a bitch. Like, that's how it works. That's balance. That's justice, okay? So I think also the animal ego is like, okay, but I know I could do all this evil things, so like, I need to be controlled. You don't need to be controlled. You just need to surrender to these higher powers and allow them to, like, open your heart, open your mind to these greater, like, energies of divine light. Like, yeah, I'm getting like red, green, and purple for a lot of you. Yeah, like, usually for me, like, I'll get like the rainbow aura for the rainbow bridge and everything, but this is very specifically like red, green, and purple, which is interesting because that's like red is root, green is heart, and then purple is third eye. It's not crown. So you have this connection to Spirit, but you haven't been clarifying it, or there's something unclear about within your mind. There's a lack of clarity. The Seven of Cups is especially showing me that. But your heart is very beautiful. I think that's what this reading is about, rather, is the red, green, and the purple is about understanding that stability is an illusion. Like, the way I was thinking about it is, if you were not a human, then your perception of time would be greatly altered, no? And if your consciousness were outside of a material existence such that you could almost view a timeline, like you could zoom out to an extent where the fall of Rome, versus the building of Rome is about that far apart. And then the rest of this is human existence. So part of the ego says, well, isn't that so reductionist to say, well, because of course, if you zoom out, then it's smaller, it's less significant. True, but let's look at what is significant about zooming out. What is significant about zooming out is it gives us this perspective. It allows us to understand that, oh my God, even within that time, they thought that was going to last forever, like right in the middle of it. Forever is not forever. Forever is in a moment. Like there is only, all that is, truly is this exact moment. Thank you, Saraswati. You are definitely speaking through me. Athena as well. All that is this moment, okay? And the exact conditions of space and time, which are space and time are forms which measure, and that's all they serve to do, is measure. And the only reason to have measurement is to have communication, okay? Part of why goddesses and gods and deities in general are able to, like energetic beings, are able to give you this guidance because they aren't inside of a third dimensional time and space sphere. The third dimension is kind of trapped in itself. It's like interwoven because it's time and space. Because in time you have present, past, and future, and in space you have like always three dimensions. So like length, width, and height, which is just describing different distances in different ways. Okay, so we're just describing what is. So I'm gonna get a little extra deep here because we're going deep today. So the I got so sidetracked because of the hand clapping. That was so silly. Okay. I so forgot what I was gonna say too. Oh my goodness, maybe it's not the time. Yeah, I think I've already put enough on you guys for today. What was I gonna leave you with? Okay. Yeah, it's like, honestly, gods and goddesses, deities, like, they're kind of our next door neighbors in a dimensional sense. But there is a universal consciousness across dimensions of consciousness, or dimensions of existence are transcended, or we are able to transcend them through our connection to a universal consciousness, which is when you are conscious and aware, when you are truly conscious and aware, there's an empathic element that allows you to see the world in others' shoes, which is, as you practice this sort of karma yoga and everything of empathy, which you have greatly, you've kind of been forced into it, you kind of got abused into it. I'm really sorry. I've had really similar experiences, with like people who made me read their mind, and now I'm a psychic, and people who like made me have to read their mind just to like not step on their toes or whatever. It's like they couldn't communicate, so I had to make that bridge myself. But am I attached to the painful things I went through? No. What I'm attached to is the beautiful gifts that I developed, the strength, and so this is you, okay? The beautiful strengths, talents, and abilities that you've built up in yourself, this love, this true and deep love in your heart that radiates and protects you. You are so protected because of these beautiful acts, okay? So the purple is clarity in seeing that, in seeing your own inner beauty and how rare, how incredible, and honestly how courageous it is of you to be giving this love to the world even when you don't necessarily feel the most uplifted by your circumstances, you still give, like, not 150% of yourself. You do give a little more of yourself than you should sometimes, but in a beautiful way. And it's not even like more than you should, it's more than you feel like you should, but then things are fine anyway. Spirit is trying to show you, like, okay, that's because you're protected. And what were you doing when you did a little more than you thought you should? You were following your intuition. So when you followed it with acts of love, that allows you to transcend this ego reality that part of you has still been attached to. It allows you to pull these last bits of light into this beautiful divine realm of realization, of love, of harmony and peace, okay? Because you felt that inner peace inside of you after you, like, have a beautiful day with friends or something, or you, like, help someone in need. Like, you really like helping people in need. And you also like enjoying your time with your friends, but then you go, well, what do I want? It's time to think about that, okay? What do you really want? I'll leave you with that, okay? So take some time to meditate today. You might want to journal, firstly, about this whole reading, because I know this was a lot. I've laid a lot of information on you. Let's get a couple last goddesses, I'm being told. Healing for you, okay? So there is still some healing that needs to be done, needs to finish, kind of. But you've done a lot of this healing work on your own, okay? And you're very capable of doing this healing work. Taiki is giving you luck, but in a different way. This is really, like, this healing is healing this Eight of Cups feeling. You need rest. You've been working yourself, like, way too hard. I know, I said I was done and then I'm leaving. Okay, I'm sorry. Eight of Cups. With this guy, you know, walking away. You're not walking away, okay? You're leaving behind what isn't for you. And it's painful, but it's what you have to do, okay? And it's mysterious, it's beyond, you know, the typical understanding and everything. It's very odd. The moon is encouraging you, because I'm seeing the moon here with the same crescent and then full and then the crescent and full. So the moon is guiding you in mysterious ways. You are being guided to these better things on the horizon for you. Okay, Spirit is saying there are better things on the horizon for you. You have to choose which cup you want, but these are already here. This is really the great fortune. I'm seeing Lakshmi and Taiki and even Hecate, okay? You've done, like, manifestation work, okay? You want to have this beautiful life for yourself that you've been wanting to give to others as well. And Spirit knows that when you get it, you will give. But Spirit wants you to take some time first to heal and rest. Then, when you feel rested, when you feel ready, not when you feel totally prepared, okay, but when you feel ready. There's a weird difference. Ready is like an intuitive, or like honestly can be even a bold, like, I'm ready. Like, I may not, I'm as ready as I'll ever be, you know what I mean? Like, that type of feeling. That's very much what I'm getting. So, but now, right now is the time to leave. To whatever this is, whatever this energy is. This might even be just attachment to, well, I've built up this beautiful self. Well, actually, how could one build up oneself? One has been building up the other sense, and now it's time to move on. It's time to release what no longer serves you. Let's get one more card. Inner Beauty. Ha ha ha. Amaterasu. And one more. and Parvati. So yeah, remember, your inner beauty comes from spirit, okay? Some of you, I feel like, struggle with self-image a little bit, and beauty comes from within. It, in general, life works as flowing from a realm of thoughts, ideas, and planning, and finally it blooms quickly into action. And you've been working on your inner beauty. With this King of Cups, you are beautiful internally. 10 of Cups, I'm seeing. 6 of Pentacles. Like, and Parvati is here to show you, like, these beautiful things you see inside you, child, they are from spirit. None of that was ever from ego. And so you're kind of being cautioned to leave your vanity at the door and just embrace that you are beautiful, because vanity comes from comparison. When you view each individual as an expression of the whole, you begin to understand that we're all individual expressions of spirit, and that we all possess the trueness of inner beauty is in self-expression, fullest expression of who you really are. It's not about, like, I'm gonna say, like, European standards of beauty, or like, you know, like, people used to wear, like, women used to have to wear corsets and bind their feet, and like, like, it kind of makes me sick. And that's because it was too much in a bodily consciousness, okay? Like, there is a desire to be beautiful, but it must be, now Spirit is saying, like, it has to be balanced by this understanding and healing and rebirth. So I'm gonna read Hell from that was the goddess's name, by the way, with the little half a face. I'll read her from the booklet for you, and then I swear I'm done, okay? I know I've been so bad. I've been telling you so much. I know it's a lot. Please come back to this reading, you know, in like a couple weeks, check in, or I'd love to hear in the comments or anything, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and it's not just in the world, it's also being expressed in every individual, okay? But as we grow ourselves as individuals, we see that growth in the world around us, and it's beautiful. You know this in the 10 of Cups, but your mind, you just can't believe it. You're like, it's possible? Like, wait, like, at Starbucks, there's like the teens making out in a Starbucks, and then the other one is like, what the fuck, is that allowed? This is like so magical and transformative. You're feeling these huge waves rise up inside of you. It's magic, okay? And it's time to believe. It's time to relinquish and release what isn't working for you. It's always difficult to acknowledge an ending, but Goddess of Death Hell is here to remind you that it's the only way to find yourself at a new beginning. The only way to start fresh from a clean slate is to wipe it off first, okay? Wipe it off. Oh my God, that would be such a mess if I did that. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. So much beautiful energy today. 4 of Cups, okay? There's so much growth, passion, intention, divine energy waiting to be claimed by you. Spirit only asks that you determine, that you tune in to understand what your particular divine, like, highest mission at this time might be, or highest goal or intention. So just do some meditation, take some rest, make sure you're getting enough food and everything. Water. Some of you aren't drinking water. You need to. That might be for me, but I'm gonna drink right after this reading. Okay. I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay tuned in, stay calm, okay? Inner beauty and inner peace. You are blessed. You are deeply blessed. And your heart is beautiful. Okay? With that, I leave you. All right. I'll see you all in the next reading. Bye-bye.